Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Vinod Vihari Ju Ki Jai. Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Srila Param Gurudev Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nugogoriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamas Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari
Hari Hari Bo.
Hari Hari Bo. Sorry, I'm a little late today. I got nature's call last minute. 1 second. Okay, so what kirtan should we do today? Let's see. I'm just gonna share my screen. Oh, and pranams Kishore Prabhu and Satya Mataji. And who's on? Oh, and Ganga Mataji and Indira Mataji. Dandavat pranams. And Champak Didi. Hare Krishna. Okay, so just sharing my screen now. Let's see. Also, if anybody has any particular kirtan request, you can totally, I'm happy to sing any Mahaprabhu or Nityananda Prabhu kirtan you like.
I don't have a request, but I have a suggestion.
Of course.
Parama
Yes.
Karuna.
Yes, let's do that. Okay. Parama Karuna. Let me just open it up. Parama. Can't remember if there's a hyphen or not. Parama Karuna. There it is. Okay. The two lords, Nitai, and this is Parama Karuna by Srila Lochan Das Thakur. The two lords, Nitai and Gaurachandra, are supremely merciful. They are the essence and the crown jewels of all avatars, and they are the source of absolute bliss. O brother, worship Chaitanya Nitai with unwavering faith, renouncing material enjoyment and drowning yourself in that ras of worshipping them. Let your lips chant Hari Hari. Just see, dear brother, in all the three worlds, no one bestows mercy like they do. Animals and birds shed tears, and stones melt upon hearing narrations of their glories. Lochan Das says, since you remain submerged in material enjoyment, the aspiration to take shelter of their lotus feet has not arisen. 1 second. Thus, you suffer the consequences of your own misdeeds as meted out by Lord Yama. Okay. O Parama Karuna Pahu Dui Jan Nitai Gaurachandra Parama Karuna Pahu Dui Jana Nitai Gaurachandra Sabhayavatar Sarashira Mane Sabhayavatar Sara Shiromani Kevalayananda Khaṇḍa Kevalayananda Khaṇḍa Bhajo bhajo bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishvasa Kori Bhajo bhajo bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishvasa Kori Vishaya chadiya Sera se majiya Vishaya chadiya Sera se majiya Mukhe bolo Hari Hari Mukhe bolo Hari Hari Dekho ore bhai Tribhuvane nai Emon doyal data Dekho ore bhai Tribhuvane nai Emon doyal data Pashu pakhi jhure Pashana vidhare Pashu pakhi jhure Pashana vidhare Shuni jar guna gatha Shuni jar guna gatha Sangsare majiya Rohili poriya Se pade nahilo asha Sangsare majiya Rohili poriya Se pade nahilo asha Ayapana karama Bhunjai shamana Apana karama bhunjai shamana Kohoye lochana dasa Kohoye lochana dasa Parama karuna Pahu dui jana Nitai Gaurachandra Parama karuna Pahudui janitai Gaurachandra Sabayavatar Sarashiromani Sabayavatar Sarashiromani Kevalayananda Khaṇḍa Kevalayananda Khaṇḍa Nitai Gaurachandra Nitai Gaurachandra Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Shri Nitai Gaurachandra Ki Jai Shri Lochan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Okay. Hare Krishna, everybody. Let's see if any more people joined. I'm just checking. Hare Krishna, Gargrajji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. All right. So I'll do a little recap and then Mangala Charan. Also, Satya Mataji or Kishore Prabhu, if you have anything that you like from the previous readings that you feel inspired to share, you can jump in anytime. For these weekly Caitanya-bhāgavata videos, I made summaries of them, except I didn't do it with the 2 last chapters. I need to do that still. But so I thought maybe we can look through that quickly. Where is it? There. Here, I'll make it bigger. So this is chapter 1 summarized. Oh, this is what we read before. So verses in chapter 1, which is the topic is called Gaura Lila Sutra, Synopsis of Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So from verses 1 to 5 is the Mangala Charan. Then verses 6 to 10, the author first offers obeisances to the devotees before offering obeisances to the Lord. Then verses 11 to 21 is obeisances to Śrī Nityananda, Balaram, and Ananta Shesh. Then verses 22 to 42 is the glories of Sri Baladev's Rasa Lila. Then verses 43 to 47 are the various forms in which Baladev serves the Lord. Remember we went through, there's 10 forms. Actually, maybe we can look at that just because I'd like to remember. Then verses 48 to 66 is how the Lord's devotees, especially Sri Narad, worship and glorify Anantadev. Yeah, we went through those 5 verses from Śrīmad Bhagavatam, in which Narad in Brahma's assembly, accompanied by Tumburu, it glorifies Anantadev. Then also Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's, that's what we read yesterday, right? Vrindavan Das Thakur's verses on that. His like Bengali rendition of those 5 verses from Narad Muni. Now, then verses 67 to 75 is how Anantadev chants the glories of Krishna with each of his thousands of mouths. And verses 76 to 83, the author's prayer to the Vaishnavas that he may worship Nityananda Balaram. Then verses 84 to 87, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur writes only what he has heard from the devotees and what has been inspired by Śrī Caitanya. And then verses 88 to 89, those 2 last verses, then it shows how the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya are divided into 3 parts. There's Ādi-khaṇḍa, Madhya-khaṇḍa, and Antya-khaṇḍa. Okay. Let's just see how the Lord... I just want to see, I want to see that part, how the various forms in which Baladev serves the Lord. I just want to see that again. Just to recap. What was it? God, I'm spaced out. Okay, 43. Oh, I'm on it. Okay, so Lord Balaram serves Krishna in 10 different ways. As a Saka, as Krishna's friend. As Krishna's Bhai, as his brother. as Krishna's Vyajan, as Krishna's fan, as Krishna's Shayan, as his bed, as his Avahan, as his carrier, Garuda, as his residence, Griha, as his umbrella, Chhatra, as Krishna's garments, as Krishna's Vastra, and Bhushan, as Krishna's ornaments, and Asan, Krishna's sitting place. Saka Bhai Vyajana Shayana Avahan Griha Chhatra Vastra Joto Bhushana Asan. I want to try to memorize that verse. That'd be a nice thing to know. Okay. So maybe we can look over what verses from 84 onwards to what we read up to. Yeah. No, I'll read from 76. Okay, so Narad Rishi's glorification, then 76 onwards is I have thus described a portion of Lord Ananta's glories. Please, therefore, develop attachment for Lord Nityananda. Those who wish to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotional service should worship Lord Nityananda. My only desire at the feet of the Vaishnavas is that birth after birth I may worship the feet of Lord Balaram. Just as Dvija, Vipra, and Brahman are different names of the same person, Nityananda, Ananta, and Baladev are similarly different names of the same Lord. Lord Nityananda, who is the Supersoul, joyfully instructed me to write a book on the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya will become manifest, because his tongue is the storehouse of Lord Chaitanya's glories. Therefore, Śrī Ananta is the embodiment of Lord Chaitanya's glories. Thus I have described a fragment of Ananta's glories. Hearing the pastimes of Śrī Chaitanya Chandra brings all auspiciousness, but know for certain that they are revealed only through the mercy of the devotees. Who can understand the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya? They are confidential even to the Vedas. Therefore, I will write only what I have heard from the devotees. I do not find a beginning or end to the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya. I write whatever he inspires me. Whatever I describe is only by the direction of Śrī Gaurachandra, just as a puppet dances only by the direction of the puppeteer. Let me offer my respectful obeisances at the feet of the Vaishnavas, so that I may not commit any offenses to them. And Srila Sarasvatī Thakur said that there's this same verse pops up a few places throughout Caitanya-bhāgavata. Let me offer my respectful obeisances at the feet of the Vaishnavas, so that I may not commit any offenses to them. And then we ended with this verse here. I'll read the Bengali because it's so nice. One second. Mana diya shuno bhai Śrī Caitanya katha Bhakta sange je je lila koila jatha jatha. My dear brother, please hear with attention the topics of Śrī Caitanya concerning the various pastimes that he performed with his devotees. Alright, so we'll do Mangala Charan and the glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. One second. Okay, Satyamataji, no problem. Okay. Ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha Kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanang pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ajanulambita bhujo kanakavadato Sankirtanaika pitaro kamalayataksho Vishwambharo dvijavaro yugadharmapalo Vande jagat priyakaro karunavataro Namastrikala satyaya Jagannatha sutaya cha Sabhrityaya saputraya sakalatraya te namaha Avatirno sakarunyo parichinno sarishvaro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando dvau bhrataro bhaje Sajayati vishuddha vikrama Kanakabha kamalaya tekshana Varajanu vilambi sharbhujo Bahudha bhakti rasabhinartaka Jayati jayati deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati jayati kirtis Tasya nitya pavitra Jayati jayati bhrityas Tasya vishveshamurter Jayati jayati nrityam Tasya sarva priyanam Ādi Śrī Caitanya Goshtir charane Ashesha prakare mor danda paraname Tabe vando Shri Krishna Chaitanya Maheshwar Navadvipe avatar nama Vishwambhar Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina Iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshaya Kshiptashtakamaditaranga madhe Kripa mai tvang sharanam prapanna Vrinde namaste charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. The glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata and Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila chapter 8 verses 33 to 42. How did I do it with Mridanga this time? Ore mora lokshono Chaitanya manga Chaitanya mahima jate jani beshakal Krishna lila bhagavate kohe ved vyas Chaitanya lilar vyas Vrindavana das koilo Chaitanya mangal Jahan rasha bane nashe sarvaya mangal Chaitanya nitar jate janiye mahima Jate jane Krishna bhakti siddhanter sima Bhagavate jata bhakti siddhanter sar Likhi achen iha jani koriya udhar Chaitanya mangala shune jadi pashandi javan Sheho maha vaishnava hoy tatakhan Manushe rachite nare aiche granta dhanya Vrindavana dasa mukhe vakta Shri Caitanya Vrindavana dasa pade koti namaskar Aiche granta kori teha tarila sangsar Narayani Chaitanyer uchishta bhajan तार गर्भे जन्मिला श्री दास वृंदावन तार की अद्भुत चैतन्य चरित वर्णन जहाँ रसवाने शुद्ध कोयलो त्रिभुवन Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Madhya Lila 4:5 Sahaje vichitra madhur Chaitanya vihar Vrindavana dasa mukhe amriter dhar Vrindavana dasa mukhe amriter dhar. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet. And when they are described by Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai. One second, I'm going to make my screen a little higher. So, oh, and I need to open up the chapter. I forgot to do that. Where is it? Chapter 1 with Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. One second, I just need to get something for my backpack. I have a mouse. Sorry guys, I should have done this before. That's much better. One second. Okay. There. Okay, I'm just checking the comments really quick. Haribol Govinda Vidya Lalasa Didi and Govinda Saha Prabhu, Sudevi Didi. Hare Krishna, everybody. Okay, so what verse are we on? I think we're on let me type in 189. Today we're going through a synopsis. This is the second half of the chapter, but it'll only take 2 days to read. And this is a synopsis of all of Mahaprabhu's pastimes in the 3 khandas of Caitanya-bhāgavata. Manadiya shuno bhai Śrī Caitanya katha Bhakta shange jai jai lila koila jatha jatha. My dear brother, please hear with attention the topics of Śrī Caitanya concerning the various pastimes that he performed with his devotees. Verse 89. Trivida Caitanya Lila Anandera Dham Ādi 1.89 Madhya-khaṇḍa Śrī Nam. The pastimes of Śrī Caitanya are the abode of all happiness, the Anandera Dham. These pastimes are divided into Ādi 1.89, Madhya-khaṇḍa, and Antya-khaṇḍa. Text 90 to 91. Ādi-khaṇḍe pradhanata vidyara vilas Madhya-khaṇḍe Caitanyar kirtana prakash Shesha-khaṇḍe sannyasi rupe nilachale sthiti Nityananda sthane samarpiya goda khiti. The Ādi 1.89 mainly describes the Lord's scholastic pastimes. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, the Lord's kirtan pastimes are described. The Antya-khaṇḍa contains descriptions of the Lord's residence in Jagannath Puri as a sannyasi and his entrusting the Bengal preaching to Nityananda Prabhu. So, Ādi-khaṇḍa, Lord's scholastic pastimes; Madhya-khaṇḍa, kirtan pastimes; Antya-khaṇḍa, Jagannath Puri pastimes, and Nityananda Prabhu's preaching. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya by Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda. Among the three khandas, or sections of this book, the Ādi khaṇḍa describes the Lord's scholastic pastimes, the Madhya-khaṇḍa describes the Lord's kirtan pastimes, and the Antya-khaṇḍa describes the Lord's residence in Jagannath Puri as a sannyasi. In his pastimes as a householder, in his pastimes as a householder, Lord Gaurasundar instructed the people of Bengal in the process of kirtan. In his pastimes as a sannyasi, he remained in Jagannath Puri and nourished his devotees. When the Lord preached devotional service in Bengal, Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, and other pure devotees assisted him in his preaching. When Śrīmad Mahaprabhu resided in Nilachal, he appointed Lord Nityananda as the principal preacher for Bengal. That's why wherever you go in Bengal, you always hear everybody say, Jai Nitai. The Gaudiya devotees, Jai Nitai. The Gaudiya devotees who resided in Nilachal were under the care of Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, and the devotees in Bengal constantly worshipped Lord Hari under the care of Nityananda Prabhu. Okay, so the devotees in Nilachal were under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami, and the devotees in Bengal were under the care of Nityananda Prabhu. Śrīmad Mahaprabhu was personally in charge of the preachers in Nilachal, and he appointed Nityananda Prabhu to take charge of the preachers in Bengal. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu preached all over Bengal with his 12 prominent devotees, the Dwadash Gopals. In Rajmandal, Sri Rupa and Sanatan Goswami were the commander-in-chiefs who accepted the responsibility for preaching in the West. So, Swarup Damodar, Nilachal. Nityananda Prabhu, Gauda. Rup Sanatan, Vrindavan. Or Rajmandal, I mean. Okay. Text 92. Navadvipe ache Jagannatha Mishravar Vasudeva pray teho swadharma tatpar. Jagannath Mishra was always enthusiastic in following his religious principles while residing in Navadvip. He was equal to Vasudeva, the father of Lord Krishna. Tan patni shachinam mahapati vrata dvitiya devaki jeno she jaganmatha. His most chaste wife, Shachi Devi, was just like Devaki, the universal mother. 94. Tan garbhe avatirna hoila Narayan Shri Krishna Caitanya Nam Sangsara Bhushan. From the womb of Mother Shachi appeared Narayan. His name, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, is the ornament of this world, Sangsara Bhushan. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. While narrating topics regarding the absolute truth, the author has addressed Lord Chaitanya's father and mother as Vasudeva and Devaki, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Narayan. Such statements are not incorrect when describing the absolute truth or his opulences, for if the sweet features of the Lord are discussed amongst ignorant people, they will achieve no benefit. While at home, Śrīmad Mahaprabhu, I see very often, myself included, that we tend to take the like really high things, Vraj Leela, these like very high topics, we take them a little cheaply, and like we'll just throw around the name of Radharani anywhere in front of any group of people and like that. But we see through this instruction that, what did he say? Such statements are not incorrect when describing the absolute truth or his opulences, for if the sweet features of the Lord are discussed amongst ignorant people, they will achieve no benefit. While at home, Sriman Mahaprabhu had various names like Nimai and Vishwambar. After accepting sannyas, he was known as Śrī Krishna Caitanya. The Lord inspired the people of the world to chant the names of Krishna, and thus fulfilled the purport of the name Śrī Krishna Caitanya. Amongst the social orders, the order of sannyas is the highest. That is why the sannyas names are ornaments of the world. What did it say? The last one? Śrī Krishna Caitanya Nam Sangsara Bhushan. So these sannyas names are the ornaments of the world. Okay. 95. Ādi khande falguna purnima shubha dine avatirna hoila prabhu nishai grahane. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord's appearance during an eclipse on the night of the Falgun Purnima is described. We're going to read a summary of the full Ādi 1.89 right now and half of the Madhya-khaṇḍa in today's reading. I'm going to read up to Chandkazi's deliverance. Okay, Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. Śrīmad Mahaprabhu appeared during a lunar eclipse on the full moon night of the month of Falgun, February-March, in the year 1486. Hari Nama Mangala Utilo Chaturdige Janmila Ishvara Sankirtana Kori Age. Preceding the Lord's birth, the auspicious names of Lord Hari were heard from all directions. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. People throughout the world considered the occasion of the lunar eclipse as most auspicious, so they engaged in loud chanting of the names of Hari. The Lord appeared as this chanting was going on. Ādi khande shishurupe aneka prakash pita mata prati dekhaila guptavas. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord displays various pastimes as a child. He also reveals his own abode to his parents. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. In the material world, the Supreme Lord and his abode are unmanifested. The Lord exhibited his unmanifest abode to his parents by awakening their transcendental knowledge. Ādi khande dvaja vajra ankusha pataka griha maje apurva dekhila pita mata. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord's parents are astonished to see footprints marked with the signs of a banner, a thunderbolt, an elephant goad, and a flag. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The symptoms of a great personality like banner, thunderbolt, elephant goad, and flag are mentioned in the Samudrika. These marks are eternally manifested on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Wherever the Lord walked within the house, he left impressions of these marks, which were seen by Mother Sachi. Ādi khande prabhure horiyachilo chore chore bhandaiya prabhu ailena ghare. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord is kidnapped by thieves who become bewildered and returned the Lord to his home. That is in chapter 4. Text 100. Ādi khande jagadisha hiranyer ghare naivedya khaila prabhu Shri Hari Vasare. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord eats grains in the house of Jagadish and Hiranya on the day of Akadashi. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The appearance day of the Lord, Akadashi, and a few Dwadashis are called Hari Vasar. On these days, the servants of Lord Hari abstain from all kinds of activities and vow to serve Hari while fasting. Akadashi is coming up just tomorrow. But since the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he did not exhibit pastimes like fasting on Hari Vasar, which must be observed by his devotees. Rather, he accepted various foodstuffs that were offered to him. Ādi-khaṇḍe shishu chale Gauḍīya-bhāṣya Polaila sarvamukhe Śrī Hari Kirtan. In the Ādi-khaṇḍa, the Lord tricks everyone into chanting the holy names of Hari by crying as a child. Seems to not be in total chronological order, these, because it's mentioning this is mentioned before in Caitanya-bhāgavata, and then also the Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi seeing the marks in his footprints that comes after the thieves steal Nimai. Anyways, on Gauḍīya-bhāṣya, it is the nature of children to cry when they are in pain or in need of something. In order to stop such crying, various methods are employed to distract their attention. Following such behavior, ladies who are on the level of motherly relations with the Lord also chanted the names of Hari in order to divert Gaur Hari's attention. In order to stop his crying in this way, Gaur Hari demanded that the ladies chant the holy names, which is the religious principle for this age. Ādi khande lokavarja handira asane Bosiya mayere tattva kohila apane. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord sits on rejected cooking pots and instructs his mother on the absolute truth. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. According to ordinary behavior, earthen pots that have been used for sinful purposes are considered impure and thrown away. The place where such earthen pots are thrown is also generally considered impure. In order to exhibit his pastime of equal vision, the Lord rejected considerations of purity and impurity by establishing impure places as pure. When Mother Shachi desired to understand the real truth behind this pastime, the Lord instructed her in absolute knowledge. Conceptions of superior and inferior in regards to items of this world are not supported by absolute knowledge. In one's constitutional position, everything is perceived equally. The Lord imparted this to his mother. Ādi khande Gauranger chapalya apar Shishu gana shange jena gokul vihar. In the Ādi 1.89, Gauranga displays unlimited restlessness and imitates his Gokul pastimes with his friends. That's what we're going to be reading about in next Sunday in our weekly Caitanya-bhāgavata reading. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. As Krishna in his Vrindavan pastimes played with his cowherd boyfriends in various ways, the Lord in his Navadvip pastimes played with his Brahman boyfriends in various mischievous ways. I think even Nimai was more mischievous than Krishna. Like he took it a little bit further than Krishna did. Ādi khande koilen aramba porite alpe adhyapaka hoila shakala shastrete. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord begins his studies, and in a short time he becomes a teacher of the scriptures. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. During the course of the Lord's ordinary studies, he quickly became a highly learned professor. This extraordinary display of scholarship was not the result of intense study. The Lord exhibited his proficiency in all forms of knowledge in the course of his ordinary studies. We'll also read about this in the next, the weekly reading. Ādi khande Jagannatha Mishra Paralok Vishwarupa Sanyasa Shachir Duishok. In the Ādi 1.89, Shachi Devi laments for both the disappearance of Jagannath Mishra and the acceptance of sannyas by Vishwarup. I think this is chapter 7. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. Mother Shachi had two reasons for lamenting. The first was the disappearance of the Lord's father, and the second was separation from her son, the Lord's elder brother, who took sannyas. Ādi khande vidya vilaser maharambha pashandi dekhaye jeno murti manta dambha. In the Ādi 1.89, at the beginning of the Lord's educational pastimes, he appears to the atheists as the personification of pride. Murtimanta Dambha. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. Since the Lord ridiculed the foolish people by his exhibition of scholarship, he was regarded by the atheists as the personification of pride, Dambha. The devotees of the Lord, who accept his qualities as all auspicious, were overjoyed on seeing his scholastic pastimes. Envious persons shook in fear of him and accused him of being proud. Ādi shakala paduva ganameli janavir tarange nirbhaya jal kheli. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord, along with other students, sports fearlessly in the waters of the Ganges. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The word jal kheli indicates swimming and splashing water. Text 108. Ādi Gauranger sarva shastre jai tribhuvane heno nahi je sanmukha hoy. In the Ādi 1.89, Lord Gauranga masters all the scriptures. No one in the three worlds can compare with him. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The Lord defeated all scholars by the strength of his great learning. Neither the spiritual master of the demigods who reside in the heavenly planets, nor the scholars of this planet, nor the scholars of the abominable lower planets, none of these scholars in all the three planets could stand before the Lord in a debate. Ādi banga deshe prabhur gaman prachya bhumi tirtha hoilo pai Śrī charan. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord travels to East Bengal, modern-day Bangladesh, which becomes a holy place by the touch of his lotus feet. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. A few places in East Bengal in Bangladesh that the Pandavas did not visit are still known as impure. They're called Pandava, Varjita Desh, because the pure Bhagirathi river does not flow there. In his travels to Bangladesh, Sri Gaurasundar turned those places into tirthas by the sanctified touch of his lotus feet. Ādi purva pari graher vijay sheshe raja panditer kanya parinay. The Ādi 1.89 describes the disappearance of Lakshmi Priya and the Lord's second marriage with the daughter of the Raja Pandit. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The Lord's first wife was Lakshmi Priya Devi. The word Vijay in this verse indicates that she gave up her body and returned to her own abode. The Lord then married Sri Vishnu Priya Devi, the daughter of Sanatan Mishra, who is the king's priest. Okay, he's the daughter of Sanatan Mishra. Vishnu Priya Devi's father is Sanatan Mishra, and he was the king's priest. Interesting. Does anybody remember, or do you remember Kishore, who was, like, it mentions the Lord's three potencies in that verse, Namastri Kala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha. So who is, yes. So who was Lakshmi Priya Devi? Was she who, or?
I think she came under Bhu Shakti.
And then Vishnu Priya was Shri, right? I think, yeah.
I think Vishnu Priya was Bhu Shakti, and then Lakshmi Priya, Shri Shakti. Something like that. And then Neela, I think, was Navadip Dham.
Yes, that was Navadip Dham. How come it's not coming up Bhu? I want Bhu. Oh, Bhu, I guess doesn't have, no, it does have long U. Let's see if that, okay. Yeah, so Vishnu Priya is Bhu Shakti, Lakshmi Priya is Shri Shakti, and Navadip, which is Neela, Leela, or Durga. Navadip is, okay, that's Shakti. Yes, you were right. Cool.
And according to Ragmark, Gadadhar Pandit.
Yes, that was referring to Kalatraya, right? That's the Lord's consorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Where were we? Okay. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The Lord's first wife was Lakshmi Priya Devi. The word Vijay in this verse indicates that she gave up her body and returned to her own abode. The Lord then married Śrī Vishnupriya Devi, the daughter of Sanatan. Oh wait, I already read this. Sorry. Okay. Ādi khande vayu deha mandya kori chal prakashila prema bhakti vikar shakal. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord displays ecstatic devotional sentiments on the pretension of an imbalance of bodily airs. Srila Sridhar Goswami talks about this in Golden Volcano of Divine Love. He describes it all past time. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The Lord exhibited various transformations of ecstatic love on the pretext of a gastric disorder. Ādi khande shakala bhaktere shakti diya apane brahmin mahapandita hoya. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord empowers the devotees and wanders about as a great scholar. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. During his life as a scholar, the Lord would enlighten his students while wandering about Navadvip. Ādi khande divya paridhana divya sukh anande bhasen shachi dekhi chandramukh. In the Ādi 1.89, Mother Shachi floats in an ocean of happiness on seeing the moon-like face of the Lord, who dresses enchantingly and enjoys transcendental pleasure. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The word divya paridhan refers to exotic clothes. Divya sukh means unsurpassable transcendental bliss. The word chandramukh means a bright, cool, shining face. Ādi khande goranger dig vijayi jai sheshe korilen tar sarva bandha koi. In the Ādi 1.89, Lord Gauranga defeats the Digvijay scholar and ultimately delivers him from all bondage. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. Lord Gauranga defeated Keshavacharya, a Digvijay from Kashmir. Digvijay means Dig means directions and Vijay means conquers. So he was undefeated in debate in all the 4 directions. Nobody could defeat him. So Lord Gauranga defeated that Keshavacharya. Sri Gauranga removed Keshava's adoration for material knowledge by instructing him on the transcendental science of Krishna. Keshav could spontaneously compose and recite various types of poems. He composed many original verses in glorification of the Ganges, and the Lord retained them all in his heart. After the recitation, the Lord pointed out various grammatical faults, which left Keshav struck with wonder. Keshav received an opportunity from the Lord to gather the conclusions of the philosophy of simultaneous oneness and difference in the form of Sri Radha Govinda's worship. Chinta Bheda Bhed. Later on, this Keshav composed an elaborate commentary on Nimbarka's Vedanta Kaustuba, named Kaustuba Prabha. Interesting. Various shlokas and prescriptions in the compilation of Vaishnava rituals, Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas, are taken from Kramadipika, which was composed by this Keshav. Neat. By his causeless mercy, Gaurasundar conferred on Keshav the title Acharya amongst the Vaishnavas. Oh, so he's Keshavacharya, title given by Mahaprabhu. Nowadays, many less intelligent pseudo-followers of Keshav try to establish him as the Vartma Pradarshak Guru of Śrīmad Mahaprabhu. Whoa. In order to protect these people from the offense of such useless, proud attempts and their reaction, Vrindavan Das Thakur has herein written, Sheshe Korilen Tar Sarva Bandha Koi. Gauranga ultimately delivers him from all bondage. The Bhakti Ratnakar lists Keshav's predecessors in this disciplic succession. And then there's a note here. Srila Prabhupada quotes this list in his purports to the Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Ādi 1.69. The name Keshav Kashmiri may be found in the first chapter of Vaishnav Manjusha. That's neat to know that there's a lot more information on Keshav Kashmiri or Keshav Acharya.
Well, Param Gurudev, he sued some people who were saying that Keshavacharya was Mahaprabhu's guru.
Really?
Yeah, Param Gurudev, yeah, they were hinting that he was the guru of Mahaprabhu. When Param Gurudev said, this is nonsense, and he told Gurudev, write down on. I want you to write that there was no Nimbarka Acharya.
Oh, that's how it started. Okay, yes.
Because Nimbarka's actual name was Nimbaditya. The name Nimbarka was a name that was given to him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's so interesting. So wow, all the followers, the Nimbarkis, they're all followers of Keshav Acharya, huh? That's so neat.
I don't know about that.
Okay, I'd have to look that up then. That's from the Acharya Keshari, huh?
I think so. I've heard it before.
Okay, cool. Ādi khande shakala bhaktere mohadiya shekhane bule prabhu sabare bandhiya. In the Ādi 1.89, the Lord bewilders the devotees and lives amongst them as an ordinary person. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. In the Lord's childhood pastimes at Navadvip, the devotees could not understand him as Lord Krishna himself. He created misconceptions in the minds of all the devotees by personally exhibiting indifference to devotional service. The word Shekhane means in Navadvip. The word Bule indicates that the Lord lived amongst the residents as one of them. Okay. For some reason I thought Bule meant like wanders, but I guess it doesn't. Shekhane. Oh, well, it could mean that. Bule, he wanders there in Navadvip amongst all the people. I don't know. Okay, actually, I'm just sorry, guys. I can't help myself. What does sorry? When I get curious, Bule. Okay, it's not in the Bengali dictionary, but I thought Bule means wonders. Okay. In the Ādi khande gaya gela Vishwambhara Rai Ishvara Puri re kripa korila jathai. In the Ādi 1.89, Lord Vishwambhar goes to Gaya and bestows mercy on Śrī Ishwarapuri. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The Lord went to Gaya in order to perform his father's Shraddh ceremony. The abode of Gaya is celebrated by the mark of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. By accepting Śrī Ishwarapuri as his spiritual master, the Lord showered unlimited mercy on the beloved disciple of Śrī Madhavendra Puri, who belongs to the Madhva Sampradaya. The son of Advaita Acharya and follower of Gadadhar Pandit, Śrī Achyutananda, replied to his father's question as follows. Lord, this is when he's just a little boy, when he's like, I don't know, he was like 5 or something like that. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the spiritual master of the 14 worlds, but you say that someone else is a spiritual master? This is not supported by any revealed scripture. Under the influence of material knowledge, many foolish persons accept Śrī Gaurasundar as a disciple of Śrī Ishwarapuri. But in order to deliver such deluded people from calamity, Śrī Vrindavan Das Thakur, the king of Vaishnavas, established Ishwarapuri as the recipient of the Lord's mercy. What was Vrindavan Das Thakur's words? He said, Ishwarapurire kripa korila jathai. Kripa on Ishwarapuri, to Ishwarapuri. That's Ishwarapurire kripa korila jathai. Ādi khande ache koto ananta vilas kichu sheshe varniben mahamuni vyas. In the Ādi-khaṇḍa, there are innumerable pastimes that will be described in the future by the great sage Vyasadeva. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The great sage Srila Vyasadeva has described innumerable pastimes of the Lord. Apart from the pastimes of Gaurasundar described in this book, his many other pastimes will be described by followers of Vyasadeva. That's interesting. So this is, okay. Those who follow in the disciplic succession of Vyasadeva by narrating and compiling the pastimes of Lord Gaurasundar are also known as Vyas, and they sit on Vyasasans. Ordinary munis describe topics other than those of the Lord. But since Srila Vyasadeva does not describe the topics other than those of the Lord, he alone is addressed as Mahamuni, while others are munis only in name. Topics not related with Krishna are known simply as the urge of speech, Vachavegam. One who controls this urge through the service of Krishna is a real muni. The word Varniben is in the future tense. Seeing this usage, materialistic persons become doubtful about the existence of Vyasas, who are followers of the original Ved Vyas. It's so weird I can hear my own voice after I speak. Sorry, I get the feedback. Okay. That's really an awesome point. So Vyas here is not just referring to Veda Vyas, but it's referring to the devotees who are also called Vyas, because they sit in the Vyasasan. They'll describe in the future pastimes of the Lord. Okay. Balya lila adi kori jate ka prakash gayar avadi Ādi-khaṇḍa vilas. The Ādi-khaṇḍa begins with the Lord's childhood pastimes and continues through his visits to Gaya. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The Ādi-khaṇḍa of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ends with the Lord's visits to Gaya and return to Navadvip. 119. Madhya-khaṇḍe vidita hoila Gaura Singha chinilen joto sab charaner bringa. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, the lion-like Lord Gauranga reveals himself so that the devotees, who are like bees at his lotus feet, are able to recognize him. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. Like when it says Gaura Singha. That'd be a cool name. I've never heard anybody with the name Gaura Singha. This is such an important part of Mahaprabhu's Leela. When he reveals himself to the devotees. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The meaning of the word Gaura Singha may be found in the commentary on Panini 2.16. Interesting. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Ādi 3.30, it is also stated, thus, the lion-like Lord Chaitanya has appeared in Navadvip. He has the... it says he has the shoulders of a lion, but I don't think it's shoulders. What did it say there? God, I forgot what it was exactly. Anyways, but thus the lion-like Lord Chaitanya he has the shoulders of a lion, the powers of a lion, and the loud voice of a lion. Oh, I think it was mane. What was the word though? Anyways, the feet of the Supreme Lord.
Waist of a lion.
Waist of a lion. I'm too curious now. I have to. I'll see what the original Bengali is, but let's finish this purport. The feet of the Supreme Lord are always compared to the lotus flower. The devotees, who are like bees, are attracted to drink the honey from those lotus feet. Okay, so let's see what it says here. Chaitanya Charitamrita Ādi 3.30. One second. God, my thing is in the way. Okay, Singha Griva. Here it says having the neck of a lion. And here it says having the shoulders of a lion. But no, neck and shoulders, let's just look in the Bengali dictionary. Oops. Okay, so it does say, it says the neck, but I think here it's actually referring to like Griva Desh. The necktie, turning the neck. I think it's referring to like a mane of a lion, but I don't know. Anyways, that's another question we can figure out the answer to sometime. Okay. Madhya-khaṇḍe advaitadi Shiva ser ghare vyakta hoila bosi Vishnu khatar upare. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, the Supreme Lord reveals his identity at the houses of Shiva's Pandit and Advaita Prabhu while sitting on Vishnu's altar. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The word Vishnu Kata refers to the khat or throne reserved for the worship of Vishnu. The word kata indicates a four-legged throne made of wood. In ordinary usage, it refers to a cot. The word Vyakta Hoila indicates that Lord Gaurasundar displayed the opulent pastimes of Narayan, his naimittic or occasional incarnation. Vyakta Hoila. One second. Vyakta. Manifest, reveal. Yes. Okay. Madhya-khaṇḍe Nityananda Shange Darashan Ekathai Dui Bhai Korila Kirtan. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, the Lord meets Nityananda Prabhu, and the two brothers perform kirtan together. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. In this verse, Dui Bhai refers to Gaur Nityananda, or Śrī Krishna Balaram. These two lords were not born from the same father. Nityananda was the son of Haru Ojha? Interesting. I've never seen his name like that. Usually I see Harai Ojha. But Haru Ojha, and Gaurasundar was a son of Jagannath. The relationship of brotherhood between the two is spiritual, not seminal. The Lord first met Nityananda at Sri Mayapur after he returned from Gaya. Nityananda's name as a son of Haru Ojha is not found. Nityananda's name Swarup is simply the brahmachari title that is given by a tirtha sannyasi. Nityananda Swarup. Okay. Madhya-khaṇḍe Sharbhuja Dekhila Nityananda Madhya-khaṇḍe Advaita Dekhila Vishvaranga. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, Nityananda Prabhu sees the Lord's six-armed form, and Advaita Prabhu sees the Lord's universal form. So Nityananda sees Sharbhuj, and Advaita sees Vishvaranga. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The word Sharbhuj refers to the famous six-armed form of Lord Gaurasundar with the two hands of Sri Ramachandra, the two hands of Sri Krishna, and the two hands of Sri Gaurahari. Another opinion is that Sharbhuj has the two hands of Nrsimha, the two hands of Ram, and the two hands of Krishna. Wow, that's cool. I've never seen that form before. Nrsimha, Ram, and Krishna. The two hands of Gaurasundar hold a danda and kamandalu. The two hands of Krishna hold a flute. And the two hands of Ram hold bow and arrows. A painting of this form is found in Jagannath Puri in one temple in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, or Ganga Mata Mat. Oh, really? Okay. I'll have to look out for that next time I'm in Puri. The word Vishvaranga refers to the universal form of the Lord, as mentioned in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I wonder if we can find it right now, actually. Ganga Mata Mat. Let's just type in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, Ganga Mata Mat, and search photos. Might not be able to find anything. Yeah, probably not. Alright. Okay. Nityananda Vyasa Puja Kohi Madhya-khaṇḍe Che Prabhure Ninda Kore Papishta Pashande. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, there is a description of the Vyasa Puja performed by Lord Nityananda, who is criticized by sinners and atheists. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. People who are averse to Lord Vishnu are known as papishta, or sinners, and people who consider the demigods as equal to Lord Vishnu are pashandis, or atheists. Sinners and atheists criticize Lord Nityananda Prabhu without understanding his position. Although Sri Nityananda Prabhu is personally the source of all Vishnu tattvas, he accepted his own servant Vyasadeva as spiritual master and demonstrated the process of Vyasa Puja. The arrangement for Lord Nityananda Prabhu's Vyasa Puja was made in order to fulfill the purport of the verses Yasya Devi Para Bhaktir and Tad Vigyanartam Sagurum Eva Bigachet and Sampradaya Vihina Ye Mantras Te Nishvala Mata. Should be Ye. Madhya-khaṇḍe haladhar hoila gora chandra haste hala mushala dila nityananda. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, Lord Gaurachandra accepts the mood of Balaram, and Nityananda Prabhu gives him a plow and club. That's so neat, huh? Gaurachandra accepts the mood of Balaram, and Nityananda Prabhu gives him the plow and club. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. As Sri Gaurahari is Swayam Roop, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Baladev, his manifestation, is certainly included in him. So it is not improper for the Swayam Roop to display Baladev's pastimes and hold his weapons. Nityananda Prabhu also handed his own weapons, like the plow and club, to Sriman Mahaprabhu for that particular pastime. Here you go. Madhya-khaṇḍe dui ati pataki mochan jaghai madhai nama vikhyata bhuvan. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, there is a description of the deliverance of the two most sinful persons known throughout the world as Jaghai and Madhai. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. Jaghai and Madhai, the two brothers named Jagadananda Bandyopadhyaya and Madhavananda Bandyopadhyaya, they used to live on the bank of the Ganges near the Mayapur village of Navadvip. Due to their sinful nature, they obstructed Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, who were preaching under the instructions of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Later, when Nityananda Prabhu excused their offenses, they were delivered and became pure devotees by the mercy of Sri Gaurasundar. All throughout this book, they've been writing Śrīman Mahaprabhu with a long A. That's incorrect. It should be Śrīman Mahaprabhu. Okay. Madhya-khaṇḍe Krishna Ram Chaitanya Nitai Shama Shukla Rupa Dekhilen Shachi Ai. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, Mother Shachi sees Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda in their blackish and whitish forms as Krishna and Balaram. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The color of Krishna is blackish, and the color of Balaram is whitish. Lord Chaitanya Dev is Krishna, and Sri Nityananda is Balaram. Shachi Devi saw Gaur Nitai with the color of Krishna Balaram. Was this the time when Shachi Devi saw them fighting with each other? Like Gaur Nitai were fighting with Krishna and Balaram? And wasn't it like Gaur Nitai were trying to take Krishna and Balaram off the altar, and they said, "Your time is over, now it's our time," or something like that? Do you remember, Kishore?
I remember hearing that pastime, but I don't know. I've heard another pastime where Gaur Nitai are taking prasadam, and at that time Shachimata sees them as Krishna Balaram. But I also don't know where that's from.
Okay, interesting. We'll find out when we get there. Madhya-khaṇḍe Chaitanya Mahaparakash Sat Prahariya Bhava Aishvarya Vilas. This is such a fun pastime, the Sat Prahariya Bhav. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, the Lord displays his Mahaprakash, his divine opulences, for 21 hours. That's for 7 praharas. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The word Mahaprakash refers to the Lord's pastime of displaying his opulence. The Lord manifested his opulences for Sat Prahar, or 21 hours. She dina amayai kohilen katha, je sevaker janma hoilo jatha jatha. On that day, the Lord spontaneously revealed the past identities of his servants. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. The word amayai indicates that the Lord manifested the absolute truth by dissipating illusion, removing the material conceptions of the living entities who are prone to be controlled by Maya, and cheating the demons through his illusory energy, and manifesting his supreme abode of Vaikuntha, which is beyond the realm of the non-devotee's senses. So, Amayai, not Maya, Amaya, above Maya. Madhya-khaṇḍe nache Vaikunter Narayan, Nagare Nagare Koilo Apane Kirtan. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, Narayan, the Lord of Vaikuntha, dances and personally performs kirtan throughout the streets of Navadvip. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. Lord Narayan eternally resides in the opulent abode of Vaikuntha, surrounded by his quadruple expansions, headed by Vasudeva. That transcendental Supreme Lord personally danced and chanted his own glories throughout the streets of Navadvip. He thus allowed the living entities to hear the transcendental sound vibration of the holy names. Okay, I think we end with this verse. Madhya-khaṇḍe kajir bhangila ahankar, nija shakti prakashiya kirtana apar. In the Madhya-khaṇḍa, the Lord breaks the Qazi's pride while manifesting his potency in a tremendous kirtan. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. During the Lord's manifest pastimes, a magistrate was appointed to maintain peace in the city of Navadvip. The name of that post was Qazi. Interesting. Is it a long A or short A? Yeah, it's a long A. At that time, Maulana... we get to know what his name is. His name is Maulana Sirajuddin, who is known as Chand Qazi. Maulana Sirajuddin. He was appointed as the magistrate to maintain peace. Since he was engaged in the task of administration, he forgot his eternal identification and proudly considered himself a government officer. By glorifying the service of the transcendence, Śrī Gaurasundar delivered the Qazi from his atheistic mentality, arising from the three modes of material nature. The Lord converted the mentality of people who were under the clutches of the covering and throwing potencies. Cool. So those who are under the clutches of the covering and throwing potencies of the illusory energy, and who are trying to either enjoy or renounce the material world, for those people the Lord converted their mentality. He thus manifested his own internal potency. Let's read verse 31 as well, because that's also about the Qazi. Bhakti pailo Kaji Prabhu Gauranger Vare, Swachande Kirtana Kore Nagare Nagare. By the benediction of Lord Gauranga, the Qazi attains devotional service. Thus, all the devotees are allowed to freely perform kirtan in the streets of Navadvip. Gauḍīya-bhāṣya. By the Lord's mercy, Qazi Mahashai became attached to the service of the supreme worshipable object. Śrīmad Mahaprabhu benefited one and all by getting the process of continuous chanting of the holy names sanctioned throughout Navadvip, the jurisdiction of the Qazi. Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. That was the first ever Nagar Sankirtan. That's such a special pastime. That's really. That was the first time it went public kirtan. All right, so that's our reading for today. If Kishore Prabhu, if you have anything that you want to share, also check the comments in YouTube and Facebook. Let's see. Hari Bol Sukhoda Didi. Oh, and Hari Bol Raseshwari Mataji. Sorry, I didn't see you before. Oh, and Hare Krishna Siddhartha Sid. Hari Bol. Alright, so then I guess I'll end now with Kirtan, unless you have anything to share, Kishore. And then I'll do Jaidwani. I always love hearing about all the court cases that Param Gurudev had. Because we're so opposite now. Like, if somebody has a different conclusion on any tattva or siddhanta, we're like, oh, whatever. People can believe whatever they like. It's not a big deal. And but Param Gurudev, he'd make court cases when. Nice. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Jai Nitai Gauranga, Jai Nitai Gauranga, Jai Nitai Gauranga, Jai Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Jai Gurudeva, 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 Jai Gurudeva. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swami. Did I say Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj? Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupāda Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Goswami Prabhupāda Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Maha-bhagavat Śrīla Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupa Anugauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath, Shri Gosvāmī Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gora Mandala Braja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Gosvāmī Prabhupāda Gauḍīya-bhāṣya ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Vo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Padadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhu Bhyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams everybody. Hare Krishna.
Good Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Kishore Prabhu. I'm just checking. Oh, and something I'm wondering. Should we start? Okay, so we're going to be finishing the first chapter tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to finish the first chapter tomorrow. Should I continue on with the second chapter the day after tomorrow? Or would it be nice to just start Golden Volcano of Divine Love? I don't know. Oh wait, let's see what the calendar says. Yeah, I don't know. Because Srila Goswami Maharaj's disappearance day is coming up in 5 days from now. Anyways, we can think about it. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna end the video now, and yeah, Jai Shri Radhe, Hari Bol, Vidya Didi and Sudevi Didi.
Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Shri Radhe.